Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Zellwood Super Pull 2025 as we are just about ready to get tonight's action underway. You see in front of you on the track right now, we've got, well, the stars of the show for tonight's program, all the pullers that will be putting on the show for you here tonight. We're going to introduce all the folks that we got out on the track right now by class, as looks like first class up we will have tonight will be the Pro Stock Semi-Class, and the number one hook in that class. Piloting the inventory liquidation, going to be Tim Camps. Next up, with the Uncle Butchie's Pipe Dream truck, Butch Drent. Butch Drent with the Kenworth. And our final competitor in the Freightliner going to be Brent Hamilton. Brent Hamilton. Fans, let's give all our Pro Stock Semi-competitors a nice round of applause. Next up, we will have the small tire mini rod class, and we looks like we've got one competitor in that class. Going to be the Warhorse of Carl Coffey. Carl Coffey. All right, so next up we will have the big tire small block mini rods coming up next here.
Okay.
And our number one hook in that class, the Intimigator tractor, going to be Glenn Hall. Up next with the left pocket money ride, David Dixon. Then we've got the straighten up tractor, going to be Dale Ruhnke. Dale Ruhnke here tonight. Next up we'll have Joseph Wills piloting the Flasher. Behind the wheel, the Wild Horses tractor, going to be Steve Aaron. Steve Aaron. Secondhand Smoke, going to be driven tonight by Chris Graham. Chris Graham. And our final competitor in our small block big tire mini rod class, going to be Dan DeSorcy with What a Ride. Well, fans, let's give all our big tire small block mini rods a nice round of applause. As next up, we will introduce to you the big tire big block mini rod class here tonight. Number one hook in that class, the Copperhead tractor, Pete Yarrington. Next up, behind the wheel, the Sabotage, going to be John Graham. John Graham. So that will conclude our big tire big block class here tonight. Fans, let's give them all a nice round of applause. As next up, we will have the V8 Hot Rod class, 5,000 pound class. And number one hook in that class, the red-headed stepchild, going to be Anthony Hoising. Next up with the Ford 900, Robert Keller. Tim Murray will pilot the POS here tonight. Behind the wheel, the Misfit, going to be Brandon Acey. Brandon Acey. Next up, we've got the Outlaw Alice ride. That's going to be Les Pitts. Les Pitts. And Bazinga, the Palmer family, Mike Palmer doing the driving here tonight. And our final tractor in the class is going to be driven tonight by Jacob Acey. Jacob Acey. And we don't have a name on that one here tonight, fans. Let's give all our hot rod competitors a nice round of applause. The V8s here tonight. As we move along next, we've got the Street Diesel class. Nice field of these trucks here tonight. Number one hook in that class going to be Josh Brewer. Josh Brewer up number one. Next up, behind the wheel, the Ford F-250, Travis Weaver. Travis Weaver. Another F-250 Ford product, Donnie Green will be up next. Don Green. All right, looks like we've got a Dodge here tonight. Dodge 2500, going to be Jason Mills. Jason Mills. Next up will be Shane Hetz. Shane Hetz. Ryan Benedict will be behind the wheel of another F-350 here, Ryan Benedict. And our final truck in the class is going to be the Black 67, they call it. Teddy Friedel. Teddy Friedel, our final competitor. Let's give all our Street Diesel competitors a nice round of applause here. As we'll move on next to our Outlaw Diesel truck class. As looks like a couple more Fords here. Daryl Coggin will be up number one with his Ford F450. Daryl Coggin. Travis Weaver, once again, F250. He'll be up next. We've got Shane Hetz with his F350 up next. And then our final truck in the class will be Josh Brewer. Josh Brewer, our final truck in the Outlaw diesel truck class here tonight. Next up, we've got our Pro Stock two-wheel drives, 5,200-pound class. And number one hook in that class, the Buck Wild, going to be Tyson Craig. Tyson Craig. Last night's winner up next, the Voodoo truck, Mark Craig. Mark Craig, he'll be up next. And we've got the Shakin' Tater. Tate Woods doing the driving. Tate Woods up next. Next up, we've got the Backdraft truck, going to be driven tonight by Tim Bowden. Tim Bowen. Next up, we've got Raymond Schmemadek. Raymond Schmemadek, you're up next. Next, we've got the Buckeye Bowtie and Wayne Van Burmer. Wayne Van Burmer. The Hog Waller Jr. will be up next. That's Dustin Waller. Dustin Waller. Then we've got the Boss Man here tonight, going to be driven by Matt Woods. Matt Woods. And then our final truck in the class here, the Pro Stock two-wheel drives, the 2010 Chevrolet Drew Kinkler. Drew Kinkler, our final truck in the two-wheel drives. Fans, let's give all our two-wheel drive competitors a nice round of applause. As next up, we'll have the Pro Stock four-wheel drive competitors. And first hook in that class, the Dinosaur, going to be Dakota Sackett. Dakota Sackett up number one. Next up, we've got the Lean With It. That'll be driven by Ken White. Ken White. Number three in that class will be Johnny Edwards. Johnny Edwards. And final truck in the class, the Handicap Helix truck, going to be Ashley Barth. Ashley Barth. Our final truck here in Pro Stock four-wheel drive competition. Let's give all them competitors a nice round of applause. As our final class will be the 10,500-pound hot farm class, and we've got one competitor here tonight, and going to be Rob Bell. Rob Bell with the Deer Doctor. Rob Bell. Well, fans, let's give all our competitors a nice round of applause, as that will be our field here for tonight. They'll head back to the pit area and get ready to go on their machines as they are ready to put on a show for you here tonight. So it'll be just a couple minutes here. We'll get tonight's action underway. So we will start things off here with the Pro Stock semi-truck class here tonight. Make sure, fans, you do head on back here behind the announcer's stand here. We've got all kinds of good vendors back here supplying food. We've got the barbecue stand back there. They've got the donut stand. Peanuts are available back there. The FFA group, all kinds of goodies over there at their stand as well. So make sure you do grab something here before we get tonight's program underway here at the Zellwood Super Pull. All right, fans, so we got a couple of the sponsors we'd like to thank here before we start getting rolling here tonight. Of course, we'd like to thank the folks from South Bay, Brandon, Drew, and Fozzie, for helping out here this weekend. Also, Fields John Deere. Also like to thank the folks at Seminole Paving, Robert White as well for his support, with Russell and Lori as well. Southland Construction, also the folks at Cotton and Grain, Ring Power, Lake Jam Farms, and Keith Trunow for their support here this weekend. Without these folks, would not be able to put on this pull for you. Once again, we're bringing this pull live streaming in here on Facebook as well as YouTube. So tell your friends and family at home, hey, we might just be on TV here tonight. Good to see you fans coming out. We had a brisk breeze here this afternoon. Looks like that's kind of subsided a little bit before we get tonight's action underway. We're going to run one single track. Now, you were with us this afternoon. We ran 3 separate tracks. We're going to run just one single track, so single track action here tonight for night number 2 here in the Zellwood Super Pull. And we will have a couple of the classes here tonight you will be able to wager on. Make sure you head on over to Full Pull Picks, the only gaming platform of tractor and truck pulling. And you'll be able to gamble on a couple of classes here tonight. The two-wheel drive class. We've got a couple games up there with the two-wheel drive class. So select two and accumulate who will you think will go the furthest here tonight. Take 2 picks and see what 2 trucks will go the furthest distance. Also, the mini rods will be on there as well. You select one from each group, and you might just be a winner. So make sure you do download the app, Full Pull Picks, and you could go home with some cash here tonight. Of course, some gambling. We were also supposed to have a couple other games from Cloverdale, Indiana. Looks like they are not on there, so it looks like just the Zellwood Pull here tonight for the games here with Full Pull Picks. All right, if we could have Ben Parton, if you could make your way to your John Deere. Ben Parton, if you could make your way to the John Deere, we need you down in staging, please. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would ask that you all please rise. Gentlemen, kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Well, once again, thank you, Zellwood, as we are just about ready to go here tonight. Pulling action here for the Zellwood Super Pull as we will fire up the first of our entries here tonight. Now, we're going to run, we talked about it earlier, the Pro Stock Semis are going to be our first class we're going to see go down the track here tonight. We're going to run that class twice, and what we're going to do is we're going to combine their distances between their 2 hooks, and we will have one overall champion. We did that last night. And we saw the Kenworth out of Michigan, Mr. Butch Drent, take the big win last night. We'll see if he can do it again here tonight. All right, fans, so it looks like, well, we're going to have a kind of a leftover here from this afternoon's competition as we'll have Ben Parton here with his John Deere 830. Ben was supposed to make a couple runs here this afternoon in the farm stock class and kind of left the premises, so wasn't able to make his run here. So he's going to make a test pass here, get us rolling here tonight. And we will then bring out our pro stock semis here tonight. We'll get our weight transfer machine up on the start line and get ready to go here. Well, Zellwood, Florida, you guys ready to have a good time here tonight? Let's hear from you. Oh, come on, Zellwood, you guys can do a lot better than that. You guys ready to have a good time here tonight? All right, we are just about ready here. So Ben Parton with his John Deere 830 will bring it out here to the start line here. He'll make his pass here with his 11,500-pound farm stock. Then we'll move along here with our semi-class here tonight, pro stock semis. As we've got some Kenworths and a Freightliner here this weekend. As we see them lining up down there in the staging lanes.
Colin?
All right, fans, so as we wait for our first competitor to make his way up to the start line here, a little bit about our track here. Now, track length here, we've got about 400 feet we're working with on our pulling track, about 40 feet wide, or as wide as your normal two-lane highway. You'll notice there's the cones out there. Competitor gets on the other side of that cone, either side, and they will be disqualified. Now, last night in our competition, we used right around, I think, 350, 370 was our furthest distance out there, and that keyed in our semi-class. As we see our Beck's hybrid sled making its way out on the track, of course, the judge and the jury of the sport of pulling. Now, that sled, as it goes down the highway, fans, empty with no weights in it. It'll weigh about 36,000 pounds. And our sled operator, he'll add the weights to the weight box there as well as on the skid pan. Now, every sled kind of laid out the same. There's three components on the sled. The drivetrain assembly, which the rear wheels are part of it. You'll see the skid plate and, of course, the weight box. As that sled moves up the rails, that weight box will make its way forward and put that weight on that skid pan. And, of course, that will stop these vehicles in their tracks. Now, that is on paper what is supposed to happen with that sled. But the competitors back in the pits are saying, hey, we're going to try to beat that sled. Now, when a sled is set for a particular class, that box will move up at the same rate, no matter how fast or how slow a vehicle will move down the track. So one thing to watch is that weight transfer machine, fans, as it makes its way down the track here at these tractor pulls. Now, as you see that sled sitting there right now on the starting line, the back of the pan is not on the ground. Now, somewhere usually in class about 100 to 150 feet, the back of that pan will drop. And that's really when the pulling starts here because, of course, you're getting all the weight from that weight transfer machine transferred to the front of that skid pan. And that's what's digging into the ground. Of course, underneath that skid pan are what are called digger or grounder bars. In stopping that vehicle. So a lot of different things the sled operator can do there to stop these vehicles in their tracks. So that will change here throughout the night, whatever class we run. So starting off here with the farm stock 11,500-pound class. This is going to be Ben Parton with his John Deere 830. He's up to the sled right now. Just going to make a run here. We're looking for him this afternoon. He wasn't on the ground, so we'll let him run first here before we go semi-pulling here tonight at the Zellwood Super Pull. All right, looks like we've got Ben Parton hooked to the sled here. He'll get the slack out of the chains now. In tractor truck pulling, there is no jerk start. You must start with a tight hitch. And here he goes. The John Deere, he lifts the tires and he's underway. John Deere 830. All right, fans, he grinds to a halt. Where's our John Deere fans tonight? Come on, John Deere. So 205.30, the distance here, 205.30. Now fans in pulling, we've entered to the front of the sled. It's not actually the pulling vehicle we've entered to, so it will be the front of that sled. So 205.30. That partner here tonight is farm stock 11,500 pound class. Now he's the only one that made this class here. As he heads back to the pit area, let's give Ben Parton a nice round of applause there as John Deere is third. As he made a nice run out here, 205.30. So we got to ask, do we have any semi fans out there tonight? Where's our big rig semi fans? All right, so it looks like we're going to have Ben Parton. Now he's going to run in a second class here. So the antique 11.5 antique class here. So Ben going to make a couple runs here. First time around we saw him go 205.30. That was in the 3 mile an hour class. So here we're going to step it up a little bit. We've got the 6 mile an hour class. So Ben Parton coming back here with his John Deere 830. All right, so we'll take a look here at Ben Parton one more time. 11,500 pound class here. Antique class, they're calling it, 6 mile an hour. So there is a speed limit here. Kenworth. Cab over. This truck last night was in contention for that #1 spot. Number 2, now they had an ejector issue on this truck last night. Actually, between runs, put the truck back in the pit area, rebuilt the ejector on it. Had much of that pass. He's going to be up #1 in the 20,000-pound pro stock semi class out of the state of Michigan here tonight. They call it inventory reduction. Inventory reduction. Now you'll notice fans also on these trucks though, DOT street approved tires, not to run any, allowed to run any of the cut tires in this class. So just DOT tires only. On one single turbocharger. Now turbocharger has more than an air compressor running off exhaust pressure. They'll run one single 4.1-inch inlet turbocharger on. Tim Cates out of the state of Michigan. This rolling here. Pro stock semi-truck class. Inventory reduction. Liquidation. Number 3 here, semi-class. Take these first distances, and then we will add to their second distance at the end of the night. All right, going to get the slack out of the chain. Green lights on the sled here. Let's see, track looks clear. Here we go. Inventory liquidation. Watch this one. Out the pipes there, fans, but nonetheless a good run. 3:32.61. 3:32.61 will set the mark here in our pro stock semi truck class. .332.61 here for Tim Cates. Now we will have to make a big decision as our first puller in the class. He is what is called the test puller. What that means is he'll have the option whether to take or turn down this run. Now we give him that option simply because he hasn't seen anybody else go down the track here. So we will see if Tim's happy with that run. I'd have to say he's going to take that run at 3:32.61. See if anybody else here in the class can beat that here tonight. Well, fans, as he heads off the track, let's give a nice round of applause. Tim Cates and the inventory liquidation. Kenworth. So that'll bring us up here to last night's winner, Butch Dredd. Also out of the state of Michigan here with Uncle Butchie's Pilot Green. Here. We see the flames on the front of this truck here as it makes the bend. 3:32.61 pro stock semi truck class. Now each and every competitor has that option where you put that sled. Orange cone behind the sled. You can put it anywhere you want. The line's down there. That starting line area will start to tear up here as we run these classes here tonight. So they're going to move back and forth quite a bit down there. So once again, DOT street approved tires here on these pro stock semis. Make it right in the neighborhood around 2 to 2,500 horsepower here. So the second of our Kenworths take his shot here tonight. We got any truckers in the crowd here tonight? Where's our truckers out there? All right, so Uncle Butchie's Pipe Dream just about ready to go here. Zellwood Super Pull 2025. All right, watch that smoke. It'll tell the story. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if Butchie did it here tonight. He's down there. Butch Drent, 300.77, they tell us. 300.77. Nope, there it is. 316.04. 316.04. And that will put him in the number 2 spot here. So 316.04. So Butch Drent going to have to do a little bit of work here if he wants to repeat in tonight's program. So he's going to come back later. So going to spot Tim Camps about, looks like about 15 or so feet here going into the finals. But we've still got one more to run here. Brent Hamilton with his Freightliner will be our final truck here in the class. And then we'll move on into our mini rod competition here tonight. So again, if you do have little ones out there, we do strongly recommend some earplugs. Going to get a little bit loud here as the mini rods as well as the trucks running here tonight going to be a little bit on the loud side. Make sure you take care of the little ones' ears. So let's see here if the big freight shaker can get the job done. Last night we saw a big time run from this truck, about 370 feet, but had a, well, not a great first run out there, and didn't have the distance to cover up for that. So would like to make 2 real strong runs here tonight as Brent Hamilton brings out that Freightliner. Got the window rolled down. He's ready to roll here tonight. All right, so here we go. The Freightliner, final truck in the class. Right now he's got to go better than 332.61. Tim Camps, our first truck out. He is our current leader with the inventory liquidation, the cab over. Let's see if that Freightliner can do it here tonight. What do you think, Freightliner fans? Can he do it? All right, we're going to find out here in just a little bit. All right, track is clear. We'll now start the build the boost. He just keeps on pulling. Fans, let's give him a nice round of applause. Brent Hamilton, 359.73, gonna be our winner. First round competition. A Freightliner getting it done. 359.73. So once again, we'll take those 3 distances. We will add them to their final distances here at the end of the night, and we will have our Pro Stock Semi-Champion coming up here. So Stay tuned. So Brent Hamilton, he'll win round number 1 here with the Freightliner at 3:59.73. We'll put Tin Camps with the Kenworth inventory liquidation in the number 2 spot at 3:32.61. And then Butch Drent, last night's winner, has now got to play catch-up. He's at 3:16.04. Semis out at the tail end of our show here tonight. Well, fans, let's give all our Pro Stock Semi competitors a nice round of applause. They will be out for blood a little bit later on here. As now we'll get set up here for our mini rod classes, which will be coming up next year. What we're going to do is switch out the big sled to the little sled. Of course, they're going to weigh in at 2,050 pounds. Now, the interesting aspect about pulling, fans, weight is an advantage. You go to a stock car race, you go to a drag race, you want to be as light as possible, not in the sport of pulling, in the sport where weight is an advantage. So you cannot weigh more than 2,050 pounds. So the first class of minis, we've got the small tire class. We've got one competitor. Now you'll notice the rear tires on this track. What you're going to see is a little bit later on in the minis. Tire on the back. These are really small. Carl Coffey, Warhorse tractor. Small block for power on the tractor. So he will be the lone entry here in our small tire mini class, 2,050 pounds. All these tractors and trucks that you're going to see run down the track here tonight, they'll go over the scales before they make their way to the sled. Of course, this afternoon went through a tech inspection before they pull in the competition. The tech inspectors will check all the safety items on these tractors and trucks. All right, so ready to go here. Carl Coffey with the Warhorse tractor. Once again, small tires, mini rod class. Here we go. And a good run for the Warhorse fans. Let's give a nice round of applause. 211.1 the distance. 211.1 will be the distance here for Carl Coffey and the small tire mini class, small block power, small block Chevrolet. And we will now move into our big tire small block class. And once again, a big field of those tractors lined up ready to go.
Last thing's just my phone, but it says it's trying to connect, so. Okay, just checking. Okay, bye.
All right, so we'll make a couple adjustments here on our weight transfer machine. Get ready to go with our big tires, small block class. We got a big field of them here tonight. And last night, boy, they put on a show. We saw the Intimigator tractor take home the big win. And let's see if he can back it up here once again on night number 2. Once again, fans, if you had the opportunity to head on over to Full Pull Picks, download the app and get your picks in here before this class starts here. Because once the class starts, you will be shut out here of making your picks here tonight. You take one from each of these two groups in the pack here. As it looks like we've got our first competitor rolling out on the track right now. The test puller here in our 2,050-pound mini class here. Big tire, small block minis. Now these are the same chassis, same tires you would see with the big blown mini rods you've seen on TV before. Of course, they weigh in at the same weight, 2,050 pounds. So Glenn Hall, last night's winner, going to be out number one here. And I think just like last night, the luck of the draw, he draws number one here with the Intimigator tractor. He'll be followed by Dave Dixon's Left Pocket Money, and then Dale Runny with the Straighten Up tractor. All right, so looks like Glenn Hall got that sled way over on the right-hand side. Now, we talked about how we're going to move that sled around quite a bit already. We're moving around now. Last night in this mini class, most of the competitors kind of favored that right side of the track, and that's exactly where we're going to start off here. So the Intimigator going to get things rolling. 2,050-pound mini rods. Naturally aspirated. They'll run a unlimited carburetor on them. Whatever size you want to run, you can run it. But no fuel injection, no supercharging allowed or turbocharging. Oh, wheels up. Wheels up there for Glenn Hall. Got that front end up, and oh, so tricky. You want to get that front end up around 8 to 10 inches off the ground, but not like we saw there for the Intimigator. Now, distance comes up here at 227.10, and I would imagine that Glenn Hall will turn this run down as our test puller. We saw that front end sky on him just at the hint of the throttle here. And we'll wait and see what the word from trackside is here. But fans, let's give a nice round of applause. The Intimigator tractor in Glenn Hall out of the state of Florida here. All right, so looks like Glenn Hall going to make his way back to the staging lane. So I would have to say, judging by that, he's going to head on back here and will drop and come back later in the class. All right, fans, so Glenn Hall has decided he is going to turn that run down, come back later. So 227, so, well, that's all for naught. Does not matter, as we will restart the class. So Glenn Hall will have to now go back into the field here. So we are going to restart the class. Looks like going to lighten up that sled a little bit. Now, they can do that a couple different ways, fans. You can actually take static weight out of the box, or we can actually slow that box down as it comes up the rails. Now, it looks like we're going to take about 2,000. Actually, these weights are about 500 to 1,000 pounds on the mini sled. So we're going to take one block out and restart the class over. So that means right now we'll have a new test puller start the class over. So great night of pulling action here, the Zellwood Super Pull, and we are just early here in the action. Much, much more to go here. And looks like we've got the skid loader still out there. We may be pulling out a little bit more weight here, as we've got Dave Dixon on the start line with his Left Pocket Money. Some interesting names you'll find in the sport of pulling here. Here we go. All right, so good run right there for Dave Dixon, the left pocket money, as he will set the mark here, 340.6. 340.6 will be the distance. And word from trackside is Dave's going to keep that run here, so we are underway here in our 2,050-pound mini rod class, big tire small block class. Limited to right around 370 cubic inches. We told you carbureted on these tractors. So Dale Runkey going to be our next puller up here with the straighten up tractor. He'll be followed by Joseph Wills with the Flasher. Our next two here in the mini rod class. Good competition here with this class, as we've got 8 of them here in tonight's program, all looking to take over that number 1 spot from the Intimigator. That was last night's big winner. So we'll see the straighten up ride of Dale Runkey making his way to the start line here out of the staging lanes. All looking to take over that 340.6. Right now, the high water mark in this class, you got to go better than 340.6 to take the win here. All right, so Dale Runkey hooked up right now, the straighten up tractor. Needs to go better than 340.6 to take over that number 1 spot here early on in our big tire small block mini class here tonight. As we'll roll the chain tight here, and he will now start to apply all that horsepower. Well, let's see if he can do it. Straighten up, he calls it. And a nice straight run right there for Dale Runkey. Going to come up short at 267 and 2. 267 and 2, fans. Let's give a nice round of applause. Straighten up, and Dale Runkey. All right, fans, so Dale Runkey going to come up short here, 262 and 2 to Dave Dixon, our current leader with the left pocket money, the orange tractor, 340.6. So he's got quite a lead right now. All right, so Joseph Wills will be up next here in our mini rod competition. Once again, the small block tractors will have the big blocks coming out next. We got a couple of those. All right, so Joe Wills with the flasher. Good looking paint job. Take a look at this one, fans. Got that candy apple paint on this tractor. So they tell us they did make a change after Dave Dixon. So we are, right now, our lead distance is 267.2, held by Dale Runkey, the straighten up tractor. So let's see what Joe Wills has got for us here with the flasher as we get the slack out of the chain. The flasher, 267.2, that's what he's shooting for. Oh, things getting a little bit wild right there for the flasher tractor, and Joe Wills did a great job of driving. 2:45 and 10, fans. 2:45 and 10 will be the distance here. 2:45 and 10 will put him in the number 2 spot here behind our current leader, Dale Runkey, with the straighten up tractor at 267.2. So Joe Wills with the flasher tractor. We see 2:45 and 10. We saw that tractor kind of get a little bit squirrely out there, and that's kind of the MO here with these mini rod tractors. Can be a little bit wild and woolly from time to time. Of course, once they get up with that front end up in the air, you steer them with the individual rear brakes. Each wheel has got its own individual brake. That's how you steer them once that front end comes up. They pretty much throw away that steering wheel. It's pretty much useless. Joe Wills with the flasher. We'll put him number 2 as we'll bring to the start line. Should have Steve Aaron with his Wild Horses tractor. Now this was the tractor last night, had some clutch issues. The Wild Horses tractor. Now these tractors will run what is called a centrifugal clutch. What that means is when the RPMs come up, that clutch will start to lock in. That was not the case here for Steve Aaron last night. We heard the RPMs come up, but clutch not locking in. So we'll see. Been working on it all day long here. We'll see if he's got it sorted out. Once again, our lead distance here in the mini class, 267 and 2. 267 and 2. We'll need Dave Dixon and Glenn Hall to make your way back to the starting line. Glenn Hall and Dave Dixon back to the start line. Had a couple of resets here. He got her locked in here today. Good run for Steve Aaron with the Wild Horses, fans. Let's give him a nice round of applause. 256 and 6. We'll put him number 2 right now. So big move right there for Steve Aaron. 256 and 6. We'll put him in the number 2 spot here behind our current leader, Dale Runkey, with the straighten up ride. All that work paying off for Steve Aaron. Getting that clutch adjusted just right. So just about through the halfway point here of our 2,050-pound small block mini class here tonight. Chris Graham will be up next, Secondhand Smoke. He'll be followed by Don DeSource with the What a Ride. And then we've got Bruce Robinson with the Straight Shooter. Next 3 to go. Of course, we will sprinkle in Glenn Hall and Dave Dixon, two tractors that have previously run. So here comes Chris Graham, second-hand smoke, making his way to the start line here. Of course, we still have last night's winner, Glenn Hall. He was our test puller with the Intimigator, decided to turn that run down, says, hey, we can do a lot better than that. So back there, no doubt making a couple adjustments on that tractor. So the second-hand smoke, Chris Graham, 267-2 is our mark to beat down there. We'll see if the officials got it marked down there with a cone or not. But got to get the front of that sled past that point if you want to be a winner here tonight. 267-2. So he calls his tractor second-hand smoke, and hopefully we don't see any smoke out of that tractor here tonight. Here we go. And a little bit light on the nose for Chris Graham. Light on the nose. The second-hand smoke goes 232 and 11, 232.11. And you can see light on the nose there. Once that front end gets up that high, you lose leverage on the drawbar. What that means, fans, makes that sled just that much harder to pull out there. 32 and 11 right now for Chris Graham. So our top three right now, we've got Dale Ruhnke, our leader, would straighten up at 267-2. Steve Aaron with the Wild Horses sits in the number 2 spot at 256-6. And Joe Wills with the Flasher, number 3 at 245.10. All right, need to give a shout out to Luke Cade here tonight watching on our live stream. Anybody else out there, let us know where you're watching from here tonight. We'd like to hear from you. As we got Don DeSorsi up next here with What a Ride entry. Should be our next one up here in the lineup here. All right, so What a Ride makes its way out on the track here down to Sorcy here in our mini competition. All looking to go past 267 and 2. Straighten up of Dale Ruhnke. All right, looks like going to move that sled down a little bit more towards the middle part of the track here. So just about halfway through this first class of small block minis here tonight. Don DeSorsi clears it out down there on the start line. Let's see if he can get that power to the ground here. Here we go. All right, What a Ride, and Don DeSorsi, as he'll go 252 and 5 here. 252 and 5. Yep, that'll put him in the number 3 spot here. So we'll take over that number 3 spot from Joe Wills with the flasher. So Don DeSorsi with the What a Ride entry, number 3 right now. Fans, let's give him a nice round of applause. He heads off the track. As we'll bring in Bruce Robinson with the straight shooter. He'll be up next. All right, so track crew out there grooming that track, filling the holes in, packing it down here. Very unique surface out here in Central Florida. A lot of the pullers coming out of the Midwest used to pulling on the clay tracks, and you come down here to Florida with the looser, sandier track, and really takes some power. A lot of the competitors last night very, very surprised at the amount of power that this track will take. So hats off to our track crew getting things ready to go here tonight. All right, well, just a shout out to those fans watching on our live stream. We've got them watching here from Tennessee, New Jersey, Ohio, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, Iowa, as well as Illinois, Michigan, and Missouri here tonight. So lots of folks watching the pulling action here from Zellwood, Florida. The Zellwood Super Pull annual pull down here, just a few miles north of the Orlando area. As we've got Bruce Robinson on the start line. Straight shooter, mini rod. And they're all shooting to go past 267 and 2 here tonight. You want to be a winner. Here we go. Oh, this is going to be close, fans. What do you think? Did he do it? The straight shooter, Bruce Robinson, had to go better than 267 and 2. And the distance comes in here, 264 and 6. So number 2 spot. I thought for sure he was going to bump the flag here. But just like that, going to come up a little bit short. So number 2 spot, fans. If you would, let's put our hands together for him here tonight. Bruce Robinson. So with that, we'll go back to the top of the class here. We should have Glenn Hall with the Intimigator, and then Dave Dixon, the left pocket money tractor, will be our 2 final tractors. Now remember, these were the tractors that ran before the resets. So we'll see who will make it up to the line here first. I would have to say probably Glenn Hall, last night's winner with that Intimigator tractor. Was our test puller, wasn't happy with that first run, turned it down, but we did make a change. We lightened that sled up a little bit. All right, so got some folks watching from North Carolina tonight. Jen Hall says, go Glenn Hall. So you know who she's cheering for. She's cheering for that Intimigator here tonight. And we'll see if he can back it up here. Now he pulls out on the track right now. Just 2 to go here. 267 and 2. Dale Ruhnke, he has led the way here since the start of this class, the straighten up entry. Dave Dixon waiting in the wings. He's on deck back there. So the Intimigator tractor. Real cool throttle handle he's got on that. Bolted there with the alligator on the side of it. The fans get the opportunity to get back in the pits after these tractors and trucks run. Take a look at them up close and personal. Of course, the pullers will be more than happy to talk with you. So here we go. Last night's winner, the Intimigator. He's got to go better than 267-2. 267-2 to take over that number 1 spot. Let's see if he can do it. Go, green, go. Oh, Glenn Hall and that Intimigator, you saw he got after that throttle, and just like that, the tractor wanted to rock back and forth on him. Did a great job of driving, fans, but unfortunately going to come up short here. 2:59.9 will be the distance here, 2:59.9, but we'll take over the number 3 spot here, Glenn Hall. All right, fans, so 2:59.9 for Glenn Hall. 2:59.9 will put him in the number 3 spot here currently with 1 tractor left to go here, 1 to go. And that'll be Dave Dixon with the left pocket money tractor.
Dan, some of our camera guys are showing the people with fires and heaters in the crowd. So it is Florida. It's warmer here, Dan, than it is at home, but better than nothing, bud.
Yeah, absolutely. We see some of the fires over there on the far side. We got a couple over here on the hillside as well. And of course, the fans enjoying all the great pulling action here. As we check in here, looks like the weather a nice cool 53 degrees. So Dale Ruhnke, our leader, would straighten up at 267-2. As Dave Dixon, he's already been down the track once. The left pocket money would like nothing better. Take home the big win here Saturday night. Zellwood, Florida. Can he do it? So our final tractor here in the small block mini class. Here we go. Oh, he had some ground speed going. This is going to be close, fans. 267-2 to take the win here tonight. And Dave Dixon with the left pocket money. He goes 265-8. Number 2 here tonight. So the win going to go to Dale Ruhnke. The straighten up tractor will be number 1. All right, so just sort out our top 5 finishers here in our small block mini class here tonight. The win, of course, going to go to Dale Ruhnke, the straighten up tractor at 267-2. Number 2 spot will go to Dave Dixon, the left pocket money at 265-8. Third spot will go to Bruce Robinson with the straight shooter at 264-6. And number 4 spot will be Glenn Hall with the Intimigator. And rounding out the top 5 here tonight was Steve Aaron with Wild Horses. Well, fans, let's give all our small block competitors a nice round of applause. What a great class we saw, and what a great way to get things rolling here tonight.
A great class of mini rods, Dan. I don't think you people realize you're going to listen to the Dan Mayer, the voice of Bowling Green, and the National Farm Machinery Show. He's pretty humble, but I'm excited to have him here on the live stream. Craig Peterson's checking in from a nice warm bar in Ormond Beach watching. Thanks again. So thanks for tuning in to Full Pull. This is a free stream we're doing. If you subscribe to us in the summertime and together. We have a Mason stream at fullpull.live. We handle NTPA Grand National and others. So thanks for watching tonight, and keep the comments coming. Back to you, Dan the man.
All right, so we got the big block class up next year. Once again, 2,050 pounds, as Pete Yarrington will be up number 1 here with the Copperhead. And once again, take a look at that paint job on this tractor. Beautiful, beautiful looking Copperhead tractor here. So we're going to step up the horsepower department here. All right, so Pete Yarrington up number 1 here with the Copperhead tractor. John Graham will follow with the Sabotage. Those will be our 2 competitors here in the big block mini rod competition. Right around 1,200 to 1,400 horse here. Man, shot out of a cannon, the Copperhead. Wow, what a run right there. 3:10 and 1. What a run right there to get us rolling with the big blocks. 3:10 and 1. And I'm going to have to say he's going to be satisfied with that one. That tractor, as we'll see here, a beautiful hole shot. Got that tractor rolling. Of course, in pulling, you know, with drag racing, hole shot, whoever leads the line first. In pulling, it's how fast you get that sled rolling that first 50 to 75 feet. Because if you don't get that sled rolling, then you're not going to make it to the big end of the track. So 3:10.1 for Pete Yarrington here tonight with the Copperhead, as we'll have the Sabotage. And John Graham will see if he can match it or beat it here tonight.
Jeremy Tyndall's checking in from Creedmoor, North Carolina. It's 34 degrees there, Dan. He was a feller that shaved his head and his eyebrows and everything for the North Carolina at the state fair. You remember Jeremy?
The purple hair.
Yeah, the purple hair guy. Jessica Reichenose says it's in the 20s in PA. Fred Virgil says 26 here in southwestern PA. Dan Mayer, you're doing a great job announcing. Do you have a Venmo account when people start sending tips? We talked about this today if you don't get good service.
And just a reminder, fans, head on over to the FFA food stand. All kinds of goodies over there. They got burgers, dogs, they got nachos over there, all kinds of goodies. As well as we've got some specialty items as well. We got the barbecue stand, we've got the donut stand, the peanuts, as well as the taco stand as well. So all kinds of goodies here at the Zellwood Super Pull.
Yeah, Dan, just Jackie says 33 in New Jersey. And again, it's nice to be in the 50s down
We're
there.
in the 50s. It's in Florida.
So
all right, Sabotage.
Yep, and real quick, Dan, we're going to be in Satsuma, Florida, February 7th and 8th. Fullpull.live will have that covered, as well as we'll be down there with the Outlaws, bringing some big vehicles down there. So make your plans and get to Satsuma.
Yeah, not too far here from Zellwood. So
And a
for
great
those
promoter
fans
down there.
listening out there. All right, here we go, Sabotage. Oh, finally got it locked in down there, but I think just a little bit too late there for John Graham with the Sabotage, as 278 and 2 will be the distance here. 278 and 2 for John Graham with his Sabotage ride here tonight. So Pete Yarrington going to be our winner with that Copperhead, 310 and 1. Don't mess with the Copperhead. They'll bite you. So 310 and 1 will take the win here. Pete Yarrington. John Graham will finish up number 2 at 278 and 2. So we'll getting ready to roll here with our V8 Hot Rod class. They'll be up next here. A classic-looking modified class coming up next. They'll run single engines on these tractors, V8s. They'll run the tractor hood on them. Short wheelbase, basically run the standard wheelbase that you would find on any of the tractors. So once again, we'd like to thank South Bay, Brandon Drew, and Fozzie for helping out here this weekend. Also, the fine folks from Fields John Deere, helping with the John Deere equipment you see out on the track right there. Seminole Paving as well. Robert White. We'd also like to thank Russell and Lori here tonight. Southland Construction, Cotton and Grain for helping out. Ring Power, Lake Jam Farms, and Keith Trunow. Without these folks, of course, you take a look at the equipment around you, what it takes to put a pull on like this. You need quite a bit of equipment. We thank those folks for helping out here this weekend here at the Zellwood Super Pull. So it'll take just a couple minutes here. We'll get ready to go with our V8 Hot Rod class. Very exciting class. And we'll see if the last night's winner will be able to repeat here. We're going to add a little bit of weight. We're going to use that smaller mini sled here for these hot rod tractors. Now normally with those small sled with the blown mini rods, we're looking at about 15 to 20,000 pounds to stop them, but I'd say we're probably right around that 10 to 12,000 pound mark here with the naturally aspirated, as we'll have Anthony Hoising, our test puller here with the red-headed stepchild. All right, fans, so last night in our competition here in the V8 Hot Rod class, we saw the Les Pitts tractor, the Outlaw Alice. That was the Alice Chalmers tractor, and he put it on him big here last night, and looking to repeat here tonight. We'll see if he can do it. Beautiful looking tractor. Of course, the V8 Hot Rods here, naturally aspirated. No turbocharging or supercharging allowed on these tractors. So it looks like lucky number 7. 7 competitors here in our hot rod class here tonight.
Again, for those of you watching at home on the live stream on Facebook and YouTube, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know if you have any questions. Head over to fullpullpicks.com. You can still make some picks for the two-wheel drive pro stock class. Yeah, we'll just make up. If we don't know the answer, we'll just make it up. I am with Dan Mayer, so he kind of knows it. Sound convincing. Yep. So. Great to be here in Zellwood, Florida. Great to see a huge crowd tonight, Dan. This makes us super happy as your promoter. Had a good Friday night crowd. But if you put on a good show Friday night, they tell all their friends and family, we can pack this place Saturday night. We got barbecue over here. Chandler Pickler has been talking about that all day. And then the brisket, yep. And then the FFA kids, they're selling burgers and hot dogs and everything else. And then, yeah, if you haven't tried, go to Butthead Donuts up here by the announcer stand. Bert tried the sprinkles, the ice cream, and the donuts all together. And then, wasn't that? The Fruity Pebbles, my bad, Fruity Pebbles. And we also have a taco truck over here, Mexican food trailer, and there's some peanuts as well over here on the announcer side. And you can walk over to the side at the end of down here at the starting line, just walk behind. So it's all good to go. All good to go. So who's winning the Texans game? Do you know? Did you look, Dan, lately? It was 6-0 when we went to supper tonight before the game. Again, we are in Zellwood, Florida. This is a free live stream we're providing on Full Pull Facebook and Full Pull YouTube for those of you that are listening to us out sitting in front of us. The Texans are up 20-6 over the Chargers. An upset in the making. So. Bert Forbes is running camera tonight from North Carolina. Doug Borth from Wisconsin. The Doug Borth.
All right, so action just about ready to continue here on our Robert White track here. So Anthony Hoising, up number one here in our V8 hot rod class. They're going to weigh in at 5,000 pounds. As we said, naturally aspirated engines on them. Robert Keller will be the number 2 hook with his Ford 900. And then Tim Murray with the POS. No doubt that means point of sale, right? Point of sale. So the red-headed stepchild will be called up here to line number 1. Next up, we will have the street diesel truck class, and they have kind of multiplied like rabbits. Last night we had about 2 or 3 of them. Tonight we've got about 8 of them. So the street diesels will follow, and then we'll have the Outlaw diesel trucks, which will be more of a performance style diesel truck. So great night of action here at the Zellwood Super Pull as we see down there trackside still continuing to add a little bit of weight. We see the folks parked along the guardrails, both sides of the track here. We've got the heaters going, the fires, and keeping the action going. All right, so we see our track officials start to make their way back out to their posts. We see, of course, 2 officials on the pulling track, starting line flagman. Very important job he's got down there. He's watching a couple things. He's watching the pulling vehicle as well as the weight transfer machine, making sure that is operating where it is supposed to be. And then, of course, we got our finish line flagman. That'll shut the competitor down when that sled gets up on top of them. All right, here we go. The redheaded stepchild, Anthony Hoising, here in our V8 hot rod class, 5,000 pound class. Kind of takes you back to the early days of tractor pulling action, back in the early 70s. So the test puller here, Anthony Hoising, backing in, making sure he's lined up nice and square here to the front of that sled. And we will turn them loose here tonight. The V8 hot rods. Looks like got the Oliver tractor. Of course, that V8 tucked right in there. All right, here we go, V8 hot rods. Ooh, the red-headed stepchild gonna come up short here, 221 and 1, 221 and 1. They're putting the weight on him here. So Anthony Hoising as our test puller. Now we'll have that option whether or not he can turn down this run. We'll see if the officials are happy with that sled setting here. They'll have a little bit of a meeting here with our sled operators, see if they're happy with it. All right, so we see out on the track, we're seeing the thumbs down. So it looks like Anthony Hoisting going to turn down that run of 2:21 and 1 here. So he says, hey, I think I can do a lot better than that. So he'll drop in the field. So we'll erase that 2:21 and 1 and move ahead here with Robert Keller with his Ford 900. All right, so Robert Keller will bring his Ford 900 to the start line here. New tractor here tonight. We did not see this tractor in competition. Brand new build here. All right, so just looking to get the red-headed stepchild off the track here. We'll move ahead here with the Robert Keller tractor, the Ford 900. Good looking ride here. All right, fans, so word from trackside is we're going to take a look at one more tractor here and make our decision on our sled setting. So take a look at one more vehicle. Of course, officials can do that. Can watch as many vehicles as they see fit. All right, so we'll bring out Robert Keller here in the Ford 900. So like we said, we're going to take a look at one more vehicle here before the officials make their decision. All right, so we see the Ford making its way out on the track here. Take a look at this one, fans.
Tim Thad, can you please meet a gentleman at the white tent at the end of the track? Tim Thad, please meet a gentleman at the white tent at the end of the track.
All right, so let's see, Robert Keller. Once again, Anthony Hoisting turned down his run of 2:21 and 1. We're going to take a look here at the Ford 900. right. Yeah, what do you say, Ford fans? Woo! She was cooking here tonight. Robert Keller, 300.4 fans. And this is a brand new tractor, so I'd say he's got it sorted out pretty good. Let's give him a nice round of applause, fans. Robert Keller. So an excellent run right there for Robert Keller with that Ford 900 as he will now set the mark to beat. So it looks like sled setting is about perfect there. 300.4. Yep, 300.4. So that'll bring us up here to Tim Murray with his POS tractor. He'll be followed by Brandon Acey with the Misfit, and then Les Pitts, the Outlaw Alice, last night's big winner. So hang on, fans. This is going to be a good one. All right, so 300.4 now the mark to beat here in our V8 Hot Rod class, as we'll have the POS of Tim Murray up next here. All right, let's bring him up here. Tim Murray with the POS here tonight. Looks like the Farmall. A little bit shorter wheelbase. We've seen some of the tractors here. Let's see how that's going to go here for Tim as he'll get backed in. Tractors run about an 18-inch tire. So right now, Ford in the lead at 300.4. The Farmall on the start line here. V8 Hot Rod class. We got some folks from New Hampshire checking in on our live stream. So a lot of folks up in the Northeast. Down here, nice, comfy Zellwood, Florida. All right, here we go. V8 Hot Rods. Oh, ran out of power right there. 235 and 11. 235 and 11 for Tim Murray. And the Farmall here tonight, fans. Let's give him a nice round of applause. The POS ride, the Farmall, Tim Murray. So that'll put him in the number 2 spot. Robert Keller continues to lead with his new tractor. But we've got some tough ones down here at the bottom of the field. We got the Misfit coming up next, Outlaw Alice. Bazinga, good running tractor from last night. Got the redheaded stepchild coming back as well, so many more to come here in our field of 7. All right, so here comes the Misfit. Oliver tractor here, Brandon Acey. Like we're going to favor that right side of the track like we saw in the mini rods. right, so we got Virginia, Indiana watching. We got some Bazinga fans, so Palmer fans out here watching on the live stream. All right, here we go. The Misfit. Oh, everybody trying to get down here tonight. 237-6 for Brandon AC. Brandon AC, 237-6. And looks like that'll put Brandon number 2 here tonight. Fans, let's give him a nice round of applause. The Misfit, the Oliver tractor. So that'll bring us up to last night's winner with Les Pitts with his Alice Chalmers. And he put it on him pretty bad last night. Let's see if he can do it. But like I said, that Ford of Robert Keller was not in attendance here last night. So we're looking for a shootout here tonight. All right, so Robert Keller, our current leader with the Ford 900, 300.4. We'll put Brandon AC in the number 2 spot at 237-6, so a lot of room in between there. Get a couple more tractors as we've got last night's winner. He's kind of sitting back there. He's waiting, ready to go here. Take a look at this ride. Good looking Alice Chalmers. That's not AC power underneath the hood. All right, we got Cheyenne, Wyoming watching, Washington, D.C. here tonight. All right, we got folks watching our live stream tonight here from the Netherlands, so international, South Dakota. Also Canada, we got some folks in southern Florida watching as well. And Napoleon, Ohio represented. So here we go, Les Pitts with his Outlaw Alice. Fans, watch this tractor run, I'm telling you. That 300.4 may be in jeopardy right now. We will see. Robert Keller, our current leader. Of course, the Palmer family will follow. That'll be Mike Palmer with the Bazinga ride. We've seen a couple of Bazinga sweatshirts out here in the crowd. All right, let's see. Outlaw Alice, Les Pitts sitting on the start line. Watch that mark, 300.4. That's what he's shooting for. He's got her rolling. Oh, he's on it. Oh, fans. I don't know, not running up the potential here tonight. Les Pitts, a tough break. 260 and 8. He'll take over that number 2 spot, but not the run he was looking for. and not exactly sure what the issue was. Maybe a clutch issue or he's up against the rev limiter, but we saw that tractor. Boy, she hooked and went last night. But unfortunately, not tonight. But right now, good enough for the number 2 spot, fans. Let's give that Alice a nice round of applause. Les Pitts, fans, and the Outlaw Alice. All right, fans, the word from trackside, he put it in the wrong gear. So tough break there, 260 and 8 will put him in the number 2 spot here. Was looking to repeat back-to-back here in Zellwood, but not going to happen here tonight. As we bring Bazinga to the start line, this is Mike Palmer. All right, so Mike Palmer, cock shut tractor. He calls it Bazinga. Had a nice run last night. Let's see if he can get the top of the heap here. 300.4. The mark to beat here is he'll roll that chain tight. Cleans her out. Here we go, Bazinga. What do you fans think? Did he do it here tonight? Bazinga had to go better than 300.4 here tonight. He goes 3-1-0 even, your new leader. So Mike Palmer with Bazinga in the lead here with the cock shut. 310 even. We'll take over that number 1 spot. We've still got 2 tractors left to go here. All right, here we go. Jacob Acey with his Oliver backing in here. Another short wheelbase ride. Right now, new leader, Mike Palmer with Bazinga, 310 even. We'll put Robert Keller in the number 2 spot with the Ford 900 at 300.4. And Les Pitts with the Alice in the number 3 spot at 260 and 8. So 2 left to go here. Jacob Acey cleaning out the Oliver. Well, let's see if he can do it. All right, Jacob Acey up on the high side of the track, over on the right side. 251 and 2 will be the distance here. 251 and 2, fans, so not going to get the job done. But nonetheless, let's give him a nice round of applause. Good looking ride there, Jacob Acey with the Oliver here tonight. Fans, so we are down to 1 here in our hot rod class as we've got our test puller coming on back. And this is Anthony Hoising. Remember, the red-headed stepchild. He turned down the run of 221 even. Now, word from trackside is he put it in the wrong gear as well. So we've had a couple competitors kind of guess it wrong on the gear ratio here tonight. So we'll bring out the red-headed stepchild, Oliver, as will be our final word in this class, and then we'll move into our street diesel truck class here tonight. And yes, we do have a Dodge represented. All right, so Anthony Hoising already been down the track once here. Gonna back him in here. All right, so we got New Mexico, Southern New Mexico watching here tonight. Pete Johnson from Joplin, Missouri watching here tonight as well. Pop. So not the TV show. Okay. Well, he's holding on to that number one spot. Let's see if he can do it. Mike Palmer with the Bazinga, 310 even. All right, slack out of the chain. Here we go. Red-headed stepchild on the start line. Anthony Hoising. All right, fans. Well, made a nice run here to finish out the class. Going to go further than his first time around. Went 242 and 5 this time around. So 242 and 5. So that means the win here tonight's going to go to Mike Palmer. Congratulations, the Bazinga team. As they will take the win here, we'll get our top finishers sorted out here and get right back to you. So Mike Palmer with the Bazinga tractor goes 310 even for the win. That was the Cockshed tractor. Finishing the number 2 spot was Robert Keller, his new ride, the Ford 900. Distance for Robert was 300.4. And then rounding out our top 3 here tonight, last night's winner, Les Pitts, with the Outlaw Alice, as he went 260 and 8 here tonight. So 260 and 8. Well, fans, let's give all our V8 hot rod competitors a nice round of applause. Good class of competition as we get ready to roll here with our street diesels coming up next. So once again, those fans watching on the live stream as well as live here in Zellwood, Florida, make sure you head on over to Full Pull Picks, the only gaming platform of tractor and truck pulling. And of course, you can do a little bit of gambling tonight from this event here in Zellwood, as we will have the 2-wheel drive class will be up. All right, fans, well, we got to make an important announcement here. Take a look and put your hands in your pockets. If you don't have your car keys, we may have them up here. Now, unfortunately, I have to make the announcement, but you do have a, well, your keychain is a Packer keychain. I'm sorry about that, but if you do have car keys, looks like possibly going to be a Honda. If you have a Honda with a Packer keychain, I'm sorry about the Packer keychain, but we do have your keys up here at the announcer's stand. So make sure, check your pockets. If you're missing your keys, we do have them up here at the announcer's stand. So looks like a Honda with a Packer keychain. And we'll have to talk about that, the Packers. So we'll bring the big sled in here for our street diesel truck class. And we said, last night had a couple trucks here. We've kind of multiplied them here tonight, so should be a good class of competition here. All right, so Josh Brewer going to get us started here in our street diesel truck class here tonight. Once again, these competitors drove these trucks to the pole, so remember that as they're making their way down the track here and hopping and jumping and all that good stuff here. So Josh Brewer up number 1 here in our street legal diesel truck class here tonight.
We got Niagara Falls, New York watching, Wilson, New York, and California, and South Dakota, so, and Saskatchewan, Canada. So good stuff.
All right, Josh Brewer underway here. All right, 298 and 37. 298-37, fans. Let's give him a nice round of applause. Good run there for the Ford. 298 and 37. We'll get us started here at our street legal truck class. Of course, all diesels. I think one of the requirements last night, they were all Fords and they were all white. Going to change that up a little bit. I know we do have at least one Dodge entered here tonight. So 298 and 37 for Josh Brewer gets us started. And we'll see whether or not he was happy. And yes, he is happy with that one. So we are underway here. All right, so weight transfer machine making its way back to the start line here, as we should have Travis Weaver with his Ford F-250 up next here. Of course, 298 and 37 is our mark to beat here, street legal diesel truck class. So the Honda keys have been claimed. The Honda keys have been claimed to some Packer fan. All right, so gonna back in here the flatbed Ford. A little bit shorter wheelbase than we saw with Josh Brewer, the first truck out here. All right, slack out of the chain. Here we go. A lot of times you'll see with these lightweight street legal trucks, they will have a tendency to bounce as they make their way down the track. So let's see if they can overcome that here tonight. Here we go. Travis Weaver. Nice run right there for Travis Weaver, fans. Let's give him a nice round of applause. 268 and 72. 268 and 72. Going to be about 30 feet short of Josh Brewer, our current leader out there, that long wheelbase Ford. So Donnie Green, our next puller up here, F-250 truck. And we got Jason Mills with the Dodge. Gonna follow. All right, so street legal truck class here tonight. We've got lucky number 7 of them, 7 entries. So once again, earlier we were talking about get your picks in for the 2-wheel drive class. They'll be on the full pull pick apps here tonight. So you pick 2 entries to see who will pull the furthest distance in that 2-wheel drive class, and you could be a winner here tonight. So make sure you head on over to Full Pull Picks, the app, and download the app if you haven't done so yet. Of course, the only platform of tractor and truck pulling. All right, fans, well, next up here in our street legal diesel truck class, it's white, but it's not a Ford. It's a Chevrolet. Going to be Donnie Green. All right, here we go. Donnie Green with the Chevrolet. We got any Chevy fans out there tonight? Come on, Chevrolet, cheer them on. All right, here we go. Slack out of the chain. Chevrolet ready to go to work. 298.37. The mark to beat here. Street legal diesel truck class. All right, Chevrolet rolling here. He's starting to pick up some dirt. Come on, Chevy fans, get behind him. All right, 242 and 5. 242 and 5. So you Ford fans, you're safe right now. 242 and 5 for Donnie Green. Nope, we've got a correction. 264 and 44. 264 and 44 the distance here. 264 and 44 for Donnie Green and the Chevrolet here tonight. All right, so Jason Mills with the Dodge going to be up next here. So you Dodge fans, this is the guy you're going to have to get behind here. Shane Hetz will follow, Ryan Benedict, and then Teddy Friedel. Our competitors here, so we bring out the Dodge. All right, Jason Mills getting squared up there. He'll get those front tires facing forward. And we will send him on his way. All right, what do you say, Dodge fans? We got a couple Dodge fans out there tonight. And, well, it's almost like we got a net right around that 265-foot mark here as we'll put 265 and 23 for Jason Mills fans. Let's give him a nice round of applause. 265 and 23 for the Dodge. We'll put him currently in that number 3 spot here. So Ford still 1-2. And we'll put Jason Mills number 3 with the Dodge. So we'll bring the Bex Hybrid sled back to the start line here. We'll get ready to go. Shane Hetz will be our next competitor up here. Once again, Josh Brewer leading the way here with his Ford 298 and 37. Got about a 30-foot cushion here over the rest of the field right now. But the rest of these competitors are looking to close that gap here. So Shane Hetz going to be up next here with the Ford. All right, it's a little bit shorter wheelbase here. We did see this truck run last night as well as this afternoon in kind of exhibition run here. So Shane Hetz on the starting line, a street diesel truck class. The rules are you must drive them in. DOT tires, here we go. It wants to go, but every time she starts applying that horsepower, she wants to get to hopping. All right, that's going to be it here for Shane Hetz fans. Let's give him a nice round of applause. 185 and 4, 185.41. We've got his cheering section right out here. 185 and 41. So we are down to 2. Ryan Benedict and Teddy Friedel, our 2 final competitors here. So it looks like Ryan Benedict with his Ford 2011 F350, our next competitor up here. And then we should have Teddy Friedel, our final competitor. So it looks to be a longer wheelbase F350 here. That seemed to work out really good for our current leader, Josh Brewer. Looks Looks like drove the truck right over from the job site, got the generator in the back, the work box. All right, 297.37 fans, 298.37. The mark to beat here in our street legal diesel truck class. They'll get the slack out of the chain, go to work here tonight. He's got her rolling pretty good here, fans. He's got her going. The big question, did he go far enough? Had to go better than 298.37. He goes 291.49, number 2 spot here, as Fords 1, 2, and 3 here. All right, so we're down to one here, Teddy Friedel. As we'll see that truck make its way to the starting line here. All right, so Teddy Friedel, black Ford rolling out on the track looks to be about a 350 there. It's again longer wheelbase, so the Ford's looking tough here. 298.37 right now, the mark to beat. Josh Brewer, he has led the whole way here. Ryan Benedict sitting number 2 with his Ford at 291.49, and then we'll put Travis Weaver with his Ford in the number 3 spot at 268.72. So 1 to go here, and then we'll move right into our Outlaw diesel truck class. All right, here we go. Teddy Friedel and his Ford. He's got her going. He's still got her going. Some good ground speed. Oh, 281 and 22, fans. Let's give him a nice round of applause. 281-22. We'll put him into that number 3 spot here tonight. So 281-22 for Teddy Friedel. So the win here tonight in our street diesel class going to go to Josh Brewer with his Ford. Good run at 298 and 37. Number 2 spot will be Ryan Benedict with his Ford at 291.49. And then Teddy Friedel will fill out the top 3 at 281.22 in our street legal diesel truck class. So we'll head back to the starting line here. Get ready to go with the Outlaw diesel truck class up next here, as Daryl Coggin will be up number 1 here with his Ford F450. So we're going to up the performance here with the diesels. So 4 entries here in our Outlaw diesel truck class. Daryl Coggin up number 1, Travis Weaver number 2, Shane Hetz, and then Josh Brewer will be our 4 competitors here. All right, F450 on the starting line duly. Daryl Coggin, our test puller here. Outlaw diesel, run what you brung. Hope you brung enough here. He will be our test puller. So turn the screws a little more here. All right, fans, here we go. Daryl Coggins up number 1 here, Outlaw diesel truck class. We'll get the slack out of the chain. We've just been informed the folks over at the Mount Dora FFA food stand, they've got hot burgers, hot dogs, and hot fries. Cold drinks ready to go for you. So if you're getting a little bit hungry, that midnight snack, head on over to the Mount Dora FFA's food stand. Daryl Coggin underway here. And it's a good one. That 450 still pulling. All right, 267 and 53 the distance, 267 and 53. All right, so we'll see whether or not Daryl's happy with that run. 267 and 53 here. Of course, 3 more competitors left to go here at our Outlaw diesel truck class. Pro Stock two-wheel drives will be our next class up here at the conclusion of the Outlaw Diesel Truck class. So Daryl Coggins sets the mark to beat here at 267 and 53. And we'll see if any of these other competitors will be able to exceed that distance here tonight. All right, so Travis Weaver, bring it on up here. F-250, you're up next. Bob Garlow, Buffalo, New York, checking in here tonight, watching Go Bills. We got any Bills fans here in Florida? There we go. Yeah, we got a few. I was hoping they weren't Miami fans. We got Chris Harmon checking in from Indiana tonight. All right, so the hold up there, we were just swapping clevises on this truck here. So Travis Weaver makes it out on the track, the flatbed, F-250 here, and we'll keep things rolling. The Outlaw Diesel Truck class, 3 to go in this one. So Fingal, Ontario, checking in, the folks from Canada. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Lots of folks all over the world watching here the live stream from Zellwood, Florida. Coast to coast. And over in the Netherlands, Canada. We've had, do we have a Mexico? I think we had a Mexico earlier. All right, fans, so high water mark here in the Outlaw Diesel Truck class, 267.53. 267.53, that big dually, he's out there, way out there. All right, here we go. Yeah, he just keeps on pulling, fans. Let's give a nice round of applause. New leader, Travis Weaver, 296.12. And he puts it on the dually here tonight, 296.12, new leader. And it's a white Ford. All right, so white Fords right now sitting 1 and 2, and we've got another white Ford making its way to the starting line here. So Shane Hetz, another one of our competitors we saw in the street legal diesel truck class, making it back here for the Outlaw class. And then Josh Brewer will be our final entry. So 2 to go here. So here comes the F350 of Shane Hetz. So we just saw a new lead distance here, 296.12. Travis Weaver blast into that number 1 spot here. We'll see if the short wheelbase Ford can do it. Oh, it's hopping, it's lugging, it's rolling. Getting after it. Look at that rear end moving back and forth. Looks like a 2-wheel drive there at the end as we see those rear wheels going. Fans, let's give a nice round of applause. 174.97. 174.97. Ford. Shane Hetz here tonight with his short wheelbase Ford. Well, we got to give a shout out to the folks watching down in Portugal here tonight. Sweden. My Warm Couch, where's that located? Oh, Charlie Miller, the puller. No, Jake Miller. My Warm Couch, I'd like to be there. Actually, we're here in Central Florida, and it's not bad. No, we've right now it's a balmy 51 degrees here in Zellwood, Florida. As we've got our final Outlaw diesel truck making its way to the start line here. All right. All right, fans, so we got Ford sitting 1, 2, and 3. What do you think? Where are my Dodge fans here tonight? How many think the Dodge can get it done? All right, we're going to find out here. Josh Brewer, Jet Black Dodge on the starting line. All right, here we go. The Dodge building the boost. Can he do it? 292.12. All right, where's my Dodge fans now? Yeah. We saved the best for last. Josh Brewer going to be our winner. 3:26 and 01. 3:26.01 will be our winner. Outlaw Diesel Truck Competition. Travis Weaver will finish up in the number 2 spot, 296 and 1. So we will get set, ready to go here with our Pro Stock 2-wheel drives. We'll be up next here, fans, as we've got 9 of those entries here tonight. So keeping the show moving along here. So folks over on the far side got the fires going over there, staying warm. All right, so last call, those folks following along, full pull picks. Get your picks in before this 2-wheel drive class. We get the first one going, because once we start the class, that is it. You cannot enter. So what you need to do, you need to pick 2 vehicles that who is going to go the furthest distance. So combine those 2 distances. If you have the 2 furthest distances, you will be a winner here tonight. So get your picks in at Full Pull Picks. Tyson Craig going to make his way to the start line here. The Buck Wild will be up number 1. All right, so we got our first of our Pro Stock 2-wheel drives fired up down there trackside. 5,200 pounds, the weight of these trucks. We got trucks out here, of course, from Florida, but we've also got Georgia represented, Illinois, as well as Ohio here tonight. So nice field of the Pro Stock 2-wheel drives. All right, fans, so the test puller makes his way out on the track, the Chevrolet, known as the Buck Wild. So look for some wild wheels up action here with the 2-wheel drives. Is Tyson Craig going to be our test puller? Brand new truck out on the circuit, debuted it here this weekend in Zellwood, Florida. As a matter of fact, yesterday afternoon, the maiden voyage. First run down the track with this truck, exhibition run during the antique show. Here we go. Competition, Pro Stock 2-wheel drives, weighing at 5,200 pounds. That's the maximum weight. 470 cubic inches underneath the hood, naturally aspirated engines. No supercharging or turbocharging allowed. See, a lot of the trucks out there will run the DOT tires on the back. There's a couple out there that do have the cut tires. Kind of mishmash them all up down here and run them all together here in Zellwood, Florida for the Super Pull. Buck Wild. All right, excellent run right there as our test puller, the Buck Wild. And boy, that did not take long at all to get that truck dialed in here. 296.72. 296.72 will be the distance. Now the big question is, will he take that run or turn it down and come back later? I'd have to say he is going to take that run. That's what I'm going to say. We'll find out here from trackside. a reminder, fans, getting a little bit chilly. The Mount Dora FFA group right next to us here, the food stand, they've got all kinds of hot hamburgers, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, as well as French fries, ice cold drinks. While you're up here, you can also check out the barbecue stand. We've got the hot boiled peanuts, as well as the donut stand and the taco stand up here as well. So all kinds of goodies. As we've got last night's winner making its way out on the track, that good-looking 50 style Chevrolet. And this is Mark Craig out of the state of Illinois, Nokomis, Illinois. So once again, we are official trackside. Official. Tyson Craig took that run of 296.72. Officially, we are underway here. Last night's winner backing in right now. Had a big power run last night, took home the win. Would like to take the daily double back to Illinois here with a win here tonight. Pro stock two-wheel drive, the Voodoo early model Chevrolet. Get the slack out of the chain, they'll clean the engine out, and he'll get ready to go to work here. 296.72 right now, the mark to beat. Voodoo! Ryan had that weight set just about perfect out there, fans, about 8 to 12 inches off the ground. And that's what you want. New leader, 312.06. 312.06 for Mark Craig. He'll be our new leader with the Voodoo. Fans, as he heads back to the pit area, let's give a nice round of applause here. Mark Craig and that tough running Voodoo truck out of Illinois. So Tate Woods, our next competitor here, the Shakin' Tater. He'll be followed by Tim Bowen. And we've got Ray Schmemetic. At 312.06, the Voodoo Chevrolet. As we'll bring out Tate Woods next with his Shakin' Tater truck. All right, so there we see the Chevrolet, the Shakin' Tater. Looks to be about a late 80s, early 90s Chevrolet there. All right, 289 and 98 here. 289, 98 the distance. So 289 and 98 for Tate Woods with the Shakin' Tater truck. So that'll bring us up here to Tim Bowen with the backdraft. All chasing Mark Craig with the Voodoo truck at 3:12.06 here tonight. All right, so here we go, Tim Bowen with the backdraft. Early model Chevrolet right there, the backdraft, Tim Bowen. He'll be followed by Ray Schmedick, and then we've got Wayne Van Brimmer, the Buckeye bow tie. Our next three coming up here. All chasing the Voodoo truck. Mark Craig, 3:12.06 as he looks to double up here this weekend. All right, Tim Bowen and backdraft. Nice run there, 279 and 57, 279 and 57 here for Tim Bowen. Fans, let's give him a nice round of applause here. Another one of the Northern trucks coming on down to play here in Florida. All right, here we go, Ray Schmedick. All right, good run right there, Ray Schmedick. 282 and 71. 282-71 here. So nice run there, Ray Schmedick with the 282-71 run here. No name on the side of the truck here, as we'll have Wayne Van and the Dustin Waller and the Hog Waller Jr. truck. Our next two trucks coming up here, all chasing that voodoo. Mark Craig out of Illinois. All right, here we go. Buckeye bow tie. Wayne Van Bermer. The state of Ohio, Northwest Ohio. He calls home just outside of Toledo. 3:12:06 to mark the beat here. The Buckeye bow tie fans, did he do it? This is going to be close. All right, just double checking distances here for the Buckeye bow tie. Wayne Van Bermer, good run. All right, fans, so looks like number 2 spot here for the Buckeye bow tie. 299.42 the distance here. Wayne Van Bermer, 299 and 42 for the Buckeye bow tie. So they're ever so closely creeping up here. All right, so the Hog Waller Jr., Dustin Waller backing in here. Looks to be about a 67, 68 Chevrolet on the starting line here. He'll be followed by Matt Woods with the Boss Man. Here we go. All right, so 281.29 the distance here. Nope, 281.78 the distance. 281 and 78 for the Hog Waller Jr. Dustin Waller here tonight, fans. Let's give him a nice round of applause. So 2 trucks left to go here in our Pro Stock 2-wheel drive competition. All right, here we go, fans. The Boss Man, Matt Woods, our second to last truck here. Pro Stock 2-wheel drives. Another 50 model Chevrolet. They've been aplenty here in this Pro Stock class. And then we'll have Drew Kinkler, our final truck here. All right, here we go. Boss Man, Matt Woods. We saw the team truck there, sits currently in that top 3 position here, or actually number 4 spot. Tate Woods, the Shaken Tater. Yeah, making plenty of power with the Boss Man, but just not transferring that weight to the rear tires there in the two-wheel drive class. We talked about that. Little nose heavy out there. Get that front end up around 10, 12 inches off the ground and transfer it back to those rear wheels. Boss Man not able to do so here tonight. 265.16. 265.16 here. We'll put him down in the pack a little bit here. So one truck to go. Going to be Drew Kinkler, the 2010 Chevrolet. Our final truck here in the Pro Stock two-wheel drives. All chasing that 312-0. Do double up here this weekend. All right, well, we know for sure that's not a 2010 Chevrolet. That looks to be an early model 68 to 70 Chevy there. Drew Kinkler, good looking ride. All right, so the 1970 Chevrolet, Drew Kinkler, our final truck in the class. Can he do it? 312.06. He wants to take the win back to Illinois. He gave it a good shot, fans. Drew Kinkler in that 70 model Chevrolet, 274 and 39, 274, 39. So that will conclude our Pro Stock two-wheel drive class here tonight, fans. We'll sort out our top 5 finishers and get back to you here. Of course, taking the win here tonight, second night in a row, Mark Craig with the Voodoo 50 model Chevrolet, 312.06 with the distance. Number 2 spot will go to Wayne Van Bermer with the Buckeye bow tie, 299.42. Number 3 spot tonight will be Tyson Craig with Buck Wild at 296.72. 4th spot will go to Tate Woods, the Shaken Tater at 289.98. And rounding out our top 5 here tonight at 282.71 was Ray Schmedick with his truck at 282.71. Well, fans, let's give all our two-wheel drives a nice round of applause here as we get ready to roll here with our second to last class, going to be the Pro Stock four-wheel drives. All right, so just about ready to go here. Pro Stock four-wheel drive competition here, 6,200 pounds. And we've got the young lady keeping everything straight here this weekend. She's been working behind the scenes and finally getting behind the wheel of the truck here this weekend. Young Dakota. Second, Dakota second. And the Dinosaur All right, so Pro Stock, four-wheel drive, 6,200 pounds, Dakota Sackett with the Dinosaur truck. This truck was the big winner last night. We saw Ken White doing the driving of this truck last night. But tonight, Dakota back behind the wheel. All right, fans, let's give that young lady a nice round of applause. She manhandled that truck out there, 271.95. As we'll set the mark to beat here, Dakota Sackett with the Dinosaur, 271.95. And we'll see whether or not she was happy with that one. All right, 271.95 will now be the mark to beat as Dakota's happy with that run here, so she's going to take it. All right, so we'll move along here. Ken White will be up next with the Lean With It truck, then Johnny Edwards, and then Ashley Barth, the Handicap Helix. Going to be our final truck here in our Pro Stock four-wheel drive. We got four of them. So starting to wind down the program here, fans. We'll finish up here with the Pro Stock four-wheel drives. We'll have a run with the Hot Farm tractor, and then we'll have the semis coming back for their show. All right, so waiting on Ken White with the Lean With It entry coming up next here. Once again, thank all you Hardy fans for coming out. A cool evening here in Central Florida, for coming out, spending the evening with us. Of course, we got some more pulling action coming up just a couple weeks away up in Satsuma, Florida. Got the big two-day pull up there, Friday and Saturday. That'll be the first weekend in February. So you folks want to see some more great pulling action, make sure you make your way up to Satsuma, Florida. 8th, 2025, as we've got our next entry rolling out here. Going to be Ken White. All right, fans, if you're getting a little bit on the chilly side, they tell us the Mountdora FFA stand right to the right of us here has brewed some fresh hot coffee. So you want some fresh, hot coffee? They got it ready over at the Mount Dora FFA food stand, along with their hot burgers, hot dogs, hot fries. So stay warm on this chilly evening here. Of course, for us northerners, not too chilly. All right, here we go. Lean with it. Ken White, 271.95 is the mark to beat here. All right, he gave it a valiant effort here. 243.46 for Ken White, the lean with it ride, but gonna come up short here. Dakota Sackett in the lead here with her Dinosaur at 271.95. So officially 243 and 46 for Ken White is Johnny Edwards. Up next here, Ashley Barth with the handicap points. Bring our post-on four-wheelers to the close here. All right, so Johnny Edwards backing in his good-looking Ford entry here. Pro Stock, four-wheel drive. He's made a couple exhibition passes here throughout the weekend. Trying to get that hop out of that four-wheel drive, and you've seen all evening long these four-wheelers can be pretty tough in the hop department. All right, so Johnny Edwards hooked up, ready to go here with his Ford. No name on the side of this one. Pro Stock, four-wheel drive. Got to go better at 271.95 to take the lead here. All right, he got it all together here tonight. The Ford 298 and 68. Fans, 298 and 68. Will blast him into that #1 spot here. So great job to Johnny Edwards and his team. So 298.68 new leader here at Pro Stock four-wheel drive with one to go. That will be Ashley Barth with the handicap helix. right, so here we go. Ashley Barth with a handicap helix truck. Now this is a small block for horsepower in this truck, so he's giving up some cubic inches here against these big mountain motor entries. So 298 and 68. Johnny Edwards in the lead here. Ashley Barth here got the ladder rack up on top of the truck. For those fans requesting what the weather is right now currently here in Central Florida, it's a balmy 49 degrees right now. 49 degrees here in Zellwood. So final truck here, Ashley Barth. A small block, let's see if he can do it. Well, fans, I think the small block did a nice job. Let's give him a nice round of applause here. 201 even. Barth here. Give it up some big cubic inches here to those big cubic inch trucks, but laid down a nice run for Ashley at 201 even. So that means Johnny Edwards going to with his Ford at 298.68. We'll put Dakota second in the number 2 spot with her Dinosaur at 271 and 95. So just a couple more vehicles to run here, and we will call it a night. Once again, the Mount Dora FFA group next to us has got hot coffee. Getting that chill on just a little bit. Head on over, grab some coffee. Should have Rob Bell with his Deer Doctor Hot Farm 10.5 Hot Farm tractor, 10,500 pound John Deere tractor, as we only had one Hot Farm make it down here this weekend. So he's going to make a run here, and then we'll bring back our 3 semis and conclude who is going to be the champion here tonight in our semi class. So Rob Bell rolls out pretty quickly here with his John Deere 4440. He calls the Deer Doctor. Good looking ride here. So looks like we got our semi competitors. They're ready to roll down there. They'll be up next here. You don't want to go anywhere. Who will be the big winner here tonight in our Pro Stock Semi Truck class? All right, here we go, John Deere fans. The Deer Doctor, Rob Bell, 10,500 pound Hot Farm tractor. Watch this tractor run. It's a good one. Whoa, wheels up. Look out, Rob. Look out. All right, fans, he got it under control there. 111.83 for Rob Bell. Took a little bit of a wild ride there. And looks like they're going to pull him on back, give him another shot here. so we see our sled operator there. We're going to make some final changes. Get ready to go here for the semi-shootout to take us home here tonight. The two Kenworths and the Freightliner lined up back there. They're ready to go. All right, fans, so by the luck of the draw, this is how the semis are going to run here tonight. Jack Brantz with the inventory liquidation. That's the cab over Kenworth. He's going to be up number one. Butch Drent with the Uncle Butchie's Pipe Dream is going to run number two, and then Brett Hamilton. So basically the same order we saw him run first time around. Of course, we're all chasing Brett Hamilton right now. He's in the lead at 3:59.73. So we'll add the distances together. We'll get a total overall distance. That will be our champion here tonight. We're going to go back, load the wagon up here. We got to load up that weight transfer machine. Try to stop these Pro Stock semis here tonight. All right, fans, so there we see on the start line the skid steer loading up the wagon here for one final time. So starting to wind things down here, the Zellwood Super Pull night number two. Said we got more pulling action coming up in a couple weeks, February 7th and 8th up in Satsuma, Florida. A whole bunch of classes going to be running up there. They'll have the blown mini rods will be one of the classes up there. If you haven't seen those, you're going to want to check those out. 2,050 pounds, about 3,000 horsepower, and they make for some wild runs. Of course, all that action will be up there in Satsuma. It's just about a month or so. So if you're looking for more action here, make sure you do check out the Florida Pullers, the flpullers.com website. And that is FL Pullers. See where they are going. Of course, numerous events right here at this facility throughout the year. Fans, so looks to be just about set here as we bring over another block here to load into the sled here tonight. So 3 more trucks to run, and we will call it a show here tonight. Once again, we thank you fans for coming out. I know we got a little bit chilly here as the night progressed here, but trying to keep things moving as quickly as possible. Of course, our list of sponsors includes Keith Truenow, Lake Jam Farms. We'd also like to thank Ring Power, Cotton and Grain, Southland Construction, Russell and Lori, also Robert White, Seminole Paving, Fields John Deere, and of course South Bay, Brandon, Drew, and Fozzie for their support here of the Florida Pullers. All right, so Jack Brandt's going to be doing the driving of the inventory liquidation. We saw his teammate, Tim Camps, earlier in the show. But, Jack going to get up and drive the truck here tonight. Butch Drent will follow with the Uncle Butchie's Pipe Dream, and then Brett Hamilton, our current leader in the semi-class. And they are scaled and lined up, ready to go. Put on a show for you fans. All right, so the call goes out to fire up the first of our Pro Stock semis here tonight, the inventory liquidation, the cab over Kenworth. Been a busy weekend for that team. Had to repair an injector yesterday between runs, came back, made a nice run here, 3:32.61 their first time around. So definitely would like to make a run close to that this time. to be in contention here for that championship here tonight. All right, so we see the inventory liquidation. He's at the ready line. Ready for the call. Bring it up to the start line. Here we go, fans. The semi-shootout here. The Zellwood Super Pull 2025. The 3 final hooks of the night. So we got folks from Michigan checking in here tonight, watching the show. South Carolina. Idaho, potato folks watching here tonight. All right, how many fans out there think the Kenworths are going to win it here tonight? Where's our Kenworth fans? All right, how many out there think the Freightliner's going to win it here tonight? All right, well, it looks like the Freightliner's got the fans behind them, so the Kenworth's got to do a little bit of work here. All right, so Jack Brandt's backing in the inventory liquidation. Cab over Kenworth here. So the team drivers sharing the driving duties here. All right, we got fans from Nova Scotia watching tonight on the live stream. So shout out to the folks up in Canada. All right, so we got the inventory liquidation hooked up. Here we go. Jack Brandt's, can he get the job done? Gonna set the mark here. Pro Stock Semi Shootout. We're gonna add the 2 distances together and get a grand champion here. All right, green flags are up. Here we go. Oh, wow. Well, the Kenworth came to play here tonight, fans. 361. 61-14. Let's give him a nice round of applause. Jack Brandt's and the inventory liquidation. So we will now add the distance together here with his 332.61. Give us a total overall distance here. All right, fans, so here it is, the total overall distance for the Kenworth, the inventory liquidation. We saw Tim Camps driving first time around. Jack Brandt's this time, Total 693 and 75 the distance. So 693 feet, 75 inches. For the inventory liquidation. So they have laid down the gauntlet here. So we'll bring out Butch Drent, last night's big winner. Came up a little bit short earlier here tonight, 316.04. But a lot of track left out there. All right, so we see Uncle Butchie down there, the Pipe Dream truck. He's out of the cab here, going around the back of the truck. Might be making some adjustments on the hitch. Of course, can't raise that hitch. You can lower it. All right, well, they tell us he's got an air leak. Air leak in the truck there. They're trying to fix here pretty quick. All right, so Butch Drent, their air leak on the truck, trying to get that repaired quickly here. All right, fans, so looks like we're going to drop Butchie here. He's going to try to get that truck fixed, so we'll move Brent Hamilton up in his spot here. So Brent Hamilton with the Freightliner going to be up next here. Our current leader here with his first run of 3:59.73, that tough run in Freightliner. Now this is the truck you fans out there thought would be our big winner here tonight. Let's see if he can follow through. All right, Brent Hamilton backing in the Freightliner, our second to last truck of the night here. I'm going to say this time around he's going to go over 400 feet. How many fans think he's going to do it? All right, here we go. Right now, Jack Brantz, he went 361.14. So it looks like the Freightliner, he's pointing it down there, hanging out the window. All right, here we go. Here comes the Freightliner. Not tonight, fans. That second run did him in here. Brent Hamilton, we saw a lot of sparks out of that clutch department, just not locking in here. So 290.33 the distance, 290.33 for Brent Hamilton, fans. Let's give a nice round of applause. Two good runs here tonight. All right, fans, so we'll add up the two distances here for Brent Hamilton with the Freightliner, 359.73 with his 290.33, and we'll get a total distance here of 650.06. So 650.06. So that means that Jack Brantz and Tim Camps, our leader with the Kenworth, at 693.75, so about 43-foot lead here. But it all comes down to Uncle Butchie. He's been over there working on that air leak. For those interested in following the NFL playoffs, right now the Ravens up 14-0 over the Steelers. And earlier we saw the Texans take the big win 32-12 over the Chargers to advance to the next round. So the Ravens up 14-0 over the Steelers. So here we go, Butch Drent, our final competitor here, Uncle Butchie's Pipe Dream. And he's working for it, had to fix that air leak here. Of course, don't have the air to the truck, not going to make the run he's going to be looking for here. So he's got to run all out here, fans, to take the win here tonight. Sweep the weekend. He was our big winner last night. All right, so the Kenworth out of Michigan. Butch Drent Track is clear. Green flags are out. Here we go. It's going to be a Kenworth. Our winner here tonight, just a matter of which one it's going to be. Starts to build that boost. He's still going. 3:11.43, fans. 3:11.43 for Butch Dren here tonight. And we will add that to his distance earlier of 3:16.04. And not going to be enough here tonight, fans. The inventory liquidation going to be our big winner here tonight. So let's give Tim Camps and Jack Brantz a nice round of applause as they will take the win. The cab over gets it done here tonight in Zellwood. Well, fans, thanks for joining us here tonight. It's been a great night of action here. Glad you come out here for the Zellwood Super Pull 2025, and hope to see you back here in 2026. Remember, got some more great pulling action coming just about a month or so up the road here up in Satsuma, February 7th and 8th. So if you want to see some more pulling action, make sure you head on up there. But if you are on your way out here